Hi, I'm Mark, and I'm glad you're here at underscore freedom for life underscore. And have I got a conversation for you today? Don't skip away from this, even though the title confuses you. Here's the thing I want to ask you. Do you have Egyptian issues in your life? If you want to figure out what those are and you want to find out if you actually have them, let's get started, shall we? And as we're getting started, could you do me a favor? Could you subscribe? Could you become part of the Freedom family? Our family is growing, and I want you to be a part of it. So grab a hold of that subscription and hit the notification bell so you can be a part of every conversation that we're having. So, this Egyptian issues, here's what I'll do. I'll describe it through my own circumstance. Back in November, I had hip replacement surgery. And you know me being kind of the hard charging life mastery kind of guy that I am, I really embraced my therapy, my rehabilitation and all that. I was, kind of relentless. I did more than I expected, more than anybody else planned on me doing. So I was really going through my therapy, and I thought at one point I was really perfectly healthy, healed. I was in therapy a little bit, trying to gain some more strength, but I felt like, man, I'm doing great. Until my wife would walk behind me, and she'd say something like, "You're walking kind of weird. You're walking a little bit different." And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm doing great. Right. So I just continued on. And she told me that a couple of times. And so we decided that, well, we're gonna figure this out. So when I was in therapy the next time, I asked the therapist, hey, my wife's telling me this, and she was in the room at the time. I said, can you tell me if I'm, doing something different, or if I'm not, completely healed or whatever? Because I thought I was perfect. I thought I was doing great. So she said, okay, walk forward, walk back, did it a couple of times, did my own, catwalk model thing. I went forward, I went back and all that. And she said, yeah, you are kind of favoring that hip a little bit. And I'm like, what? Well, now it was two people, and unfortunately, because of that, majority wins. I guess there was something that was wrong. See, I was believing that I was perfect in what I was doing. It was working out great. I was 100% healthy, 100% healed. But somebody else could see that in my life. And so this Egyptian issue is the issue of denial. Get it? Denial. What it comes down to is not believing that there's something of issue, something wrong, something that needs to be fixed, changed, helped with, right? A lot of times we walk with that. So this Egyptian issue, this denial issue in our lives, is that something you have? I know it's something I've had in times in my life, right, where you're having anger issues and you're like, it's not me, it's them, or you're having these kind of weird anxiousness or fear or worry or these things that are going on, right? And you're like, nah, I'm okay. There's nothing wrong here. There's nothing the matter. And it's interesting because in a lot of those cases, it's our friends and family and the people that know us that see something's wrong before we do. It's in that place of them saying, hey, maybe there's something a little bit, maybe there's something you need to address, maybe there's something you need to change. You shouldn't feel that way, right? Not that your emotions are invalidated, but hey, you shouldn't feel anxious because things aren't working out perfect, or there's challenges in your life shouldn't automatically bring anxiety and worry and insecurity and imposter syndrome. But they do, right? In life mastery that we either live from our identity or we live from what our past tells us we are. And well, let's be honest, for everybody I know, our past tells us something that's less than who we're created to be. Whether you're a believer like I am, a person of faith who believes in God and believes that I have an innate value, or you're somebody who just knows on the inside there's a person who's unique and impactful and amazing, that's me. Whatever the level is, your life is going to tell you something different at some time. The hurts, the pains, the issues that we've dealt with. Well, in that place, we can start to believe that they're normal. So for me, right, they talked about anger management, right? I would have this place where I would get angry, overly angry about simple issues. And they tell you to manage it as if it was something you're supposed to actually hold on to. Or those places of anxiousness, right, where you're waking up in the middle of the night because you're in business and it's not working out, or you're in a relationship and it's not going very well, and you have this shame, this guilt, this worry that's happening on the inside. There's these things that are identity statements that we're living with that we don't have to. And the only reason we're living with it is we're in denial that there's something better. Well, here's what I want to tell you. There is something amazingly better in your life than what you're working with right now, than what you're living, what you're walking through. Just like with me and my hips, sometimes it takes somebody on the outside of us to tell us when there's just something a little bit off. And just like in that place, it's not that you're defective. It's not that you're faulty. It's not that there's an issue with you. It's that there's something that needs to be changed, a mindset that needs to be altered, a thought process that needs to be revised, an understanding and an identity that needs to be unpacked, unleashed, and understood. There's a person that you're created to be at the level that God has for you. And sometimes there's the life we're living and tolerating. Here's my encouragement for you. Don't deal with your Egyptian issues and deny that they're there. Allow yourself to understand that there's this great level of life that God has for you. This thing that we have got for you in Life Mastery, so that you can actually not just understand that there's more for you, but have strategies, have tools, have what I consider the blueprint from going from hurt to healed, from bound to free. Step-by-step instructions that say if you apply these things, you'll have these results. And in that place, instead of denial, you'll walk in the life that you're created for. Wouldn't that be amazing? Down below, you can check out our website, freedom-for-life.net. You can check out all the resources we have. We have our book, we have our courses, we have all the things out there. We have all the resources for your freedom journey. But it just takes you being willing to say, that's what I want in my life, to actually have those tools and strategies impact you in a way that'll transform you forever. Hi, I'm Mark, and I'm glad you're here at _freedom4life_. Do me a favor, let me know of an area of your life that you want to be impacted down in the comments. Share this with somebody you know who may be in denial, but who has a life that's more meaningful that they're supposed to have. Share this with everybody you know. Apply it to your life. Grab the resources that we have for you. And at the end of the day, if you do nothing else, dominate your day.